This is a Vibrant Minds presentation. Welcome to Sit at the Table, hosted by Abdul Boyens. Episode 3.
Welcome. Episode 3. This is why I talk about why I created a seat at the table. A little different than the introduction. I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my story, stuff like that. But before we get into the full conversation, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone who listened, shared an episode, left a comment, sent me a message, or even told someone else about my podcast. And thank you to those who said, I'm going to listen. Because every listen, every share, every word of encouragement means more than you probably realize. I'm grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's get to it. Today, I want to answer a question that a few people have asked me since I started the podcast. Why did I create a seat at the table? The answer really starts with my own life. From the time I was about 13 years old until my late 20s into my mid 30s, I found myself sitting at a lot of different tables, different crowds, different environments, different influences. Some were good, some weren't. But through it all, I never really felt like I had found my own table. I spent years trying to figure out where I belonged and who I was. Life has never been a straight line for me. I dropped out of high school. I struggled. I had to earn my GED. And at one point, I wasn't sure what my future would look like. But I kept going. I kept learning. And I kept growing. I married my high school sweetheart at the age of 21. We had my son. Being in and out of his life was hard. Having to go through a divorce and the mental hills I had to climb through that. Becoming a girl dad and the way that has changed my life. The life and times of dreams of the music business. Standing in famous circles and being in circles that the rappers rapped about. After all this, ultimately choosing me and working hard on me to where today I can say that I'm an MSW, a Master in Social Work. That degree means a lot to me, not because of the letters behind my name, but because it represents my perseverance. It reminds me that my past did not define my future. I'm a 47-year-old black man in America. I've experienced success. I've experienced failure. I've known disappointment, loss, hope, and healing. Every chapter has taught me something. From growing up comfortable, not liking it, running to a place where there was struggle, being homeless in another state, to owning my own home. So many experiences, sometimes don't even seem real. Here's one story I'll share with you. I grew up in a family where as a kid, I could go nowhere in New York City without someone knowing my mother or my father. I hated it. I wanted my own identity. All I ever heard was go to school, get good grades, get a degree, get a career. That's all I heard. Because in my family, on both sides, there were so many members that had high education. So my first rebellion was going to school. As I stated earlier, I dropped out of high school. Cutting school for me started in junior high school. By junior high school, I was taking the train since I was about 8 years old. One day, I looked up at the F train and I saw this last stop, Coney Island. And from that moment, it was over. I was in Coney Island a lot. I made it out of junior high school, but the seeds were already sown. By ninth grade, I dropped out. I had a friend or two, we dropped out together. But my high school sweetheart did not drop out. This is where the change began. We met in high school, and I remember the feelings and the moments like they were yesterday. We spent every single day together. And as the years went by, she was getting ready to graduate high school. And I was there to watch her walk across that stage. And I remember I started crying, not tears of joy, but tears for me, because I knew I could have been there graduated on that stage. But I chose not to go to school. I chose to run the streets, play video games, and just hang out. This is where I made a choice to go back and get my GED. And y'all, when I tell you I had enough, it was enough. Now, I'm not very religious. I'm more spiritual. So I'll talk about God and comment about God in my episodes and in my stories. But this part was all about God was trying to teach me. I went to the GED school in South Brooklyn. It was the YWCA. The first day, we're going around the room introducing each other. I only said my first name and a little bit about my story. At that time, filling out paperwork, the teacher stood up out of her chair. Abdul, your last name is Boynes? Your last name is Boynes? I know your mother. I know your father. I worked with them as an editor on the newspaper they had in Harlem. All I felt at that time was the other students looking, and I felt that feeling again in my head. But I threw up my hands, I sat down, and I understood that this is my life. This is not my parents' life. I need my GED, and that's what I'm going to do. All the while, that part of me still screaming on the inside of my head that I was my own person, that I have my own identity, despite all the stuff my parents did. I am me, and I achieved my GED. Now, do I have all the answers? Absolutely not. My life experiences and my professional training do not make me an expert, not by a long shot. But they have helped me see people differently. They have helped me listen more, judge less, and understand that everyone is carrying something. Because I carried a lot, and most of the time, nobody saw what I carried because I hid it, as we all do. A seat at the table isn't about having all the answers. It's about creating a space where if something I've experienced can help someone avoid a mistake, find hope, or simply feel less alone, then this podcast is doing exactly what I hoped it would do. So whether you've been here since the beginning, it's only 2 episodes, with this being the 3rd, or this is your very first episode, thank you. Thank you again for taking a seat at this table and listening to a piece of my story. Here's something to take with you. You don't have to have a perfect past to build a meaningful future. Sometimes your greatest purpose is found in the very experience you wished had never happened. So until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep listening. And remember, there is a seat at the table for you. Because everyone has a story. Everyone has a seat at the table. The table is set. All that's missing is your story.